Hello students, this is chemistry session for class 10th and I am here with some important questions from NCERT in text chapter acids, bases and salt. So, let us start from the first question. It is question number 1. You have been provided 3 test tubes in one test tube. It is one test tube. If one test tube contains distilled water, in the other 2 test tubes one contains acidic solution and the other contains basic solution respectively. If only red litmus paper is given, how will you identify the content of each test tube? This is the question. In this question, actually, suppose you have been provided 3 test tubes. In one test tube, it contains distilled water, and in the other 2 test tubes, one contain acidic solution and the other contain basic solution, and you are given only red litmus paper. How will you test the content of each test tube? So, let us see this question. Suppose three test tubes are, these are 3 test tubes. Let A, B, C. Out of all these 3, one test tube contains distilled water and in the other two test tubes one contain acidic solution and the other contain basic solution. You have to find out in which test tube acidic, basic or distilled water is contained. So, first of all, dip red litmus paper one by one in all the three test tubes. Okay. If the color of red litmus paper does not change, then that may contain, if the color of red litmus paper changes to blue, suppose in any test tube, then if color of litmus paper changes to blue, it means that test tube contains basic solution. Okay. It may be in any test tube, and now use this blue litmus, because when red litmus paper is dipped, as you know, when red litmus paper is dipped in basic solution, it turns into blue. So, now use this litmus paper. Suppose this test tube contains basic solution. Suppose. So, the two test tubes are now left. So, now use this blue litmus paper one by one, dip this litmus paper one by one in the two test tubes B and C. Okay. If the color of this litmus paper changes to red, then that test tube contains acid. If the color of blue litmus changes to red, that test tube contains acidic solution. Suppose in the two, in this it changes to red, then this test tube contains acidic solution, and the next test tube surely it contains distilled water, because in this test tube no change in color is observed. So, I again repeat this. First of all, take red litmus paper and dip one by one in each test tube. If the color of red litmus paper changes to blue, that test tube contains basic solution, and now use this litmus paper which is now in blue color. Use this litmus paper and now dip in the other two test tubes one by one. If the color of blue litmus paper changes to red, that test tube contains acidic solution, and the other test tube contains distilled water in which the color does not change. So, you can conclude overall this solution. You can write like this: dip red litmus paper one by one in the 3 test tubes. If the color changes to red, that test tube contains if the litmus paper changes to blue, that test tube contains basic solution. Now use this litmus paper and dip one by one in the remaining two test tubes. Okay. If the color changes to red, that test tube contains acidic solution and the next test tube contains distilled water. Okay. Now, this is the complete solution, and with the help of this activity you can very easily understand how will you test the unknown samples. Now, take a screenshot of it. Now, this is the question on page number 22. It is question number 1 on this page. Why should curd and sour substances not be kept in brass and copper vessels. This is the question. Why should curd and sour substances not be kept in brass or copper vessels? This is because curd and sour substances contains acid which react with brass and copper and produce poisonous substances, which is harmful. That's why they are not kept in metallic vessels, means copper or brass. Now take a screenshot of it. Now second question is, which gas is usually liberated when metal react with acid? Illustrate with an example. And how will you test for this gas, the presence of this gas? So this question is question number 2. Which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with a metal? Illustrate with an example. How will you test for the presence of this gas? The presence of this gas. This is the complete question. Which gas is usually liberated when acid react with a metal? As you know, hydrogen gas is liberated when an acid reacts with a active metal. Suppose, how can we illustrate? In a test tube, we take few pieces of zinc granules. These are zinc granules, and add 2 ml dilute hydrochloric acid, the gas which is released it is passed through soap solution Actually, when acid react with zinc metal, hydrogen gas is released, and this gas is passed through, this is soap solution, it is passed through soap solution because, as you know, hydrogen gas is highly explosive. So, care must be taken for testing this gas. So, this gas is passed through soap solution. These bubbles contain hydrogen gas, and when a burning matchstick is brought near it, this gas burns with pop sound. Okay. So, this is the test for this gas. So, we can conclude this is the illustrative example. This is example. The gas is hydrogen, and this is illustrative example, and the test for this gas is when a burning matchstick is brought near it, it burns with pop sound. Now take a screenshot of it. Now, the next question, question number 3. A metal compound reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce effervescence. Effervescence if one of the compound right balance chemical equation for the reaction if one of the compound formed is calcium chloride. This is complete question. The gas extinguishes a burning candle. Actually, this part is here in this question. A metal compound react with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce brisk effervescence. The gas extinguishes a burning candle. Write balance chemical equation for the reaction if one of the compound formed is calcium chloride. Question is like this. So, a metal compound, it react with dilute hydrochloric acid. What happens? Effervescence means much lather is produced when metal compound react with dilute hydrochloric acid. If one of the substance which is formed, it is calcium chloride. So, if one of the product is calcium chloride, it means the metal compound surely that is calcium. It means the brisk effervescence means the gas extinguishes a burning candle. As you know, which gas extinguishes burning candle? It is obviously carbon dioxide, and it means the gas which is releasing, it is carbon dioxide. And as you know, when metal carbonate react with acid, CO2 gas is produced. So, metal compound is calcium carbonate, because if carbon dioxide gas is released, it means surely the compound has some carbonate, that is, it is metal carbonate. And when it reacts with dilute HCl, it forms calcium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water. This is the reaction. So, one of the substance formed is calcium chloride, it is given, and brisk effervescence is produced. It means it is because of carbon dioxide. So, if carbon dioxide gas is releasing, it means surely the metal compound is some metal carbonate. Okay. So, metal compound X. So, answer is metal compound X is calcium carbonate, and it is first part, and this is chemical reaction. You have to write balanced chemical equation. So, you can check CaCl2. Here 2 chlorine atoms you can see, but here you can see 1 chlorine atom. So, you can very easily balance it, multiply it by 2. 2 HCl means 2 chlorine atom and 2 hydrogen. So, chlorine atoms on both sides are balanced now, and now the entire reaction is balanced. So, this is balanced chemical equation, and the metal compound X is calcium carbonate. Now, take a screenshot of it. Now, this class is over today, and we will discuss some more questions in the next video. Thank you, students.